Hey right guys, TheTrophyMuncher's Joe here, and today we are going to be doing a tier list for every single season of TV that I watched in 2022. I did want to do this towards the end of last year, but I got ill in the week that I was doing the tier lists, and I knew that I was just going to have to talk for what's this going to be, like 45, 50 minutes, maybe an hour, who knows, and I just thought maybe that's not going to be the best when I'm ill and coughing the entire time. So feeling slightly better now, so we're getting this up a couple of weeks into 2023 instead. But yeah, this is something that I just plan to do at the start of or at the end of every year. Just go through every individual season that I watched and figured out which ones are the best that I watched and which ones are the worst. Because there might be a couple in there. This is different to obviously when at the halfway point of every year, I rank all individual shows. This is more just like those individual seasons. So yeah, I've put all like the bunched up ones out of individual seasons around here, and then we've got like the singular seasons that we watched. So quite a few here. I think there was like 56, I want to say, something around that, individual seasons. So I need to change these colours because that's going to annoy me. 1 second. I don't know if that colour scheme to me makes a bit more sense. But we've got the go-to TV seasons, like the best of the best. We've got the fantastic ones, the really good, the just good, and the seasons that exist, and then the trash seasons, the trashy bad ones. So yeah, we'll start off with The Bear. Some of these posters are going to be a little bit cut off, unfortunately, but this is The Bear Season 1. One of the biggest surprises, I'd say, of last year for me, because I just went into it, I was like, oh, it's 8 episodes, 20-minute episode length, which is amazing, I'll take that. And then it turned out to be one of the best seasons of TV that I saw in the entire year. Jeremy Allen White, I won't say carries the show, but he is a huge part of why the show's as good as it is, because the story, I think, is really good, but it is the performances and the way it's shot and the music and all that stuff that really makes this as entertaining as it is, and you end up loving all of the characters. So I do recommend checking out The Bear. I believe it's on Disney Plus, and just like say the simple fact of 20-minute episodes, and there's only 8 episodes. You're not gonna even if you don't love it, you're not gonna really waste much time. I think it's like 2.5 hours, 3 hours overall. So yeah, season 1 starting off strong. I love The Bear season 1. I believe season 2 is coming out this year as well. I think they said early summer, so we're not gonna have to wait too long for that. House of the Dragon, another incredible first season to a show. I think we all went into this a little bit skeptical just because of how obviously Game of Thrones ended. And don't get me wrong, there are a few moments in this show that do kind of have that season 7, season 8 Game of Thrones factor. Like at the time when I was reacting to it, I was like, oh, this is cool. And then you look back, you're like, actually, you worry about it. It's not as bad as season 7 and 8 Game of Thrones, but yeah, I think the fact that this is only going to be 4 or 5 seasons, that sounds good to me. Like, I think that's like the perfect length, and they're not gonna, drag it out just for the sake of it. So, yeah, performance is great, action's great, music's amazing, special effects, CGI all looks amazing as well. So, I felt like this was a show that got better and better as the episodes went on as well. And episode, I believe it was 7 or 8. I can't remember exactly. Let me get the exact episode up, but. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot of cross-referencing on Tracked, because this is my go-to website. But there was one episode. I'm not going to say what happens in any of these episodes, obviously. But was it episode? I think I saw it was episode 8. Episode 8. Yeah, that's the one. One of the best episodes of TV that I saw the entire year. I love that episode. So, yep, we're going to put House of the Dragon in. I think I'll go fantastic, because I think there were definitely a few moments and storylines that I didn't love, but I think overall it was a very, very strong start into the show, and I'm excited to see what they do with season 2. I feel like this was kind of like the prologue into like the main meat of the story, which we're going to get in season 2, which I'm very excited about. So, Dexter New Blood. I added this, right, I did. I was a fool. I did actually have Dexter New Blood, I believe, in the video from last year, because it had 2 episodes left. Yeah, 2 episodes, and I think I put it in like really good or something, because I was like, oh yeah, it's been solid all the way through, and I'm sure it's going to end really well. I'm re-adding it into this one because I technically finished it in 2022 with the final 2 episodes very early in Jan, and it did not end very well at all. What a disappointment. it all the way up to the finale. I think this show was really, really good. Kind of felt like it was leading into a better ending than what we got with the original Dexter. And then the actual ending happened. Again, I'm not going to say what happens, but maybe worse than the original. I could not. I hated it. I hated it. I get what they were trying to do with it, but it did not work for me, and plenty of others as well that I've seen videos on and stuff, and people's comments about the finale. I just don't think it worked the way they wanted it to. So I'm not going to put trash because the ending was trash, but the episodes leading up to it were actually still really good. There was a couple of episodes in there that were bangers. It was only like 10 episodes long, so it wasn't huge, but I think I'm going to put it in exists. Let me just change that to exists. Exists, or like it exists, probably makes more sense. Yeah, it exists. I don't think fondly back onto this show, unfortunately, as much as I really wanted to, because like I said, it was really, really good, and that ending alone just brings it way down here. All of Us Are Dead season 1. I think we're actually kind of close to season 2. We did All of Us Are Dead season 1, obviously mid-Jan or late Jan or something like that. Very good show. As I've said before, I just feel like it dragged. It went on for way too long. 12 episodes, most of them being over an hour long, is far too much for what this story was about. It's like a zombie show, and they're all like stuck in the classrooms, and they've got to find a way out and move from the classroom to the music room, and then all that stuff. And then you got stuff going on outside as well. There's like quite a few decent storylines going on in there. But I think for what the story was doing, the episodes did not need to be as long as they were. I think if this was 10 episodes long, 40 minutes each, I would have enjoyed it a lot more. Because I think they had really solid characters in there as well, and the stories, like I say, were pretty decent all the way through. So I hope with season 2 they kind of just bring it down a little bit. I don't think you need 12 episodes with... I think there's a couple of episodes in there that are like 80 minutes. I'm like, that's just stupid. Far too long. So I'll put it in just good. I do think there was a lot to like about the show. It's just that one part of it that I think boiled down a little bit for me. So yeah, we'll go just good for All of Us Are Dead. Unbelievable. This is one that I watched off camera. It has... I always forget her name, but the actress I really like from Godless and The Walking Dead, and she's in New Girl as well. Yeah, I think she's in The Wire, actually, for like a couple of episodes. She's not really got much of a plot in there, but she has a few lines. And yeah, also the actress from Booksmart is in it as well. Very good show. Bit of a hard watch, but I don't know. I think it was definitely the performances that kept me watching with this show, and the mystery element to it, I guess. But it's only eight episodes long, one season. It's like a limited series. So, and the ending, the finale was really, really strong. So I'll go, I think, really good for Unbelievable. Like I say, it's only one season, so I'm not going to get more of it, but definitely worth your time if you did want to check it out. Even though it is a bit of a hard watch, do be warned on that one. Euphoria Season 2. I think this time last year was when we were watching that, which is mad to think about that. It's already been a year since Euphoria Season 2 aired, but great season. I know a lot of people really did not like the season. I do agree it's not nowhere near as strong as Season 1, but I still really enjoyed Season 2. Yeah, like I said, I don't really get I don't know, it's a double-edged one. I'm kind of like, I don't get why people despise Season 2 so much, but then I also kind of get it because you set the bar so high. Why have they got that as the picture for Zendaya or what? You do set the bar so high with Season 1. I gave Season 1 a 9, I gave Season 2 an 8. Maybe I'd change that to like a high 7, but I'll keep it as an 8 for now. Yeah, 9, 8, 8, 7, 10, 8, 10, 8. So there's a couple of 10s in there. I don't know if I'd agree on this one being a 10, actually. I'd probably bring that down to a 9. I think I like the idea of it, but I think it's still an incredible episode. This one was a 10 for me. That was the best episode of the season. Yeah, very, like I say, these characters are a lot of fun. They ruin characters like Kat. I don't know what they were doing with some of these characters. I think when you look at characters like Kat and you're like, yeah, okay, what are we doing here? And then you get rid of some characters that are in Season 1, and then you have characters like Elliot, who's just coming in here and he's like doing a song for 20 minutes. It's like, okay, Jules still isn't great, it's kind of annoying. But then Maddie's like amazing, and then Fez is amazing, and Ashtray's amazing, and Rue's good. So it's a bit of a mixed bag with its characters, but I think for the most part they do a pretty solid job with it, and it is like the dialogue and the performances that really keep it as strong as it is. So Season 2, I'll put in, I think, really good probably above believable, unbelievable, above unbelievable. Yeah, I think I'd put season two in like season one in like fantastical goated, so season two in really good probably makes most sense. Arcane, oh, oh my god, Arcane! I love Arcane so much. I cannot wait for season two. I was this close to getting an Arcane tattoo this year, last year, should I say now? But I ended up not doing it. I think maybe I will at some point, but I want to I was there like maybe I should wait until the entire show is done. Because what if we get like a Game of Thrones situation where it turns out that the show season one was kind of its peak or something. But think hopefully not, because they set it up really well for an incredible second season. And I don't know, again, all these characters are just so well written. The voice acting's amazing. The animation, I said when I was reacting to the show, but it just kind of felt like Bioshock Infinite in a way. I don't know, like the steampunk world of it. It just looked amazing. So I loved Arcane. One of the best singular seasons of TV that I've seen ever, I'd argue. So again, we are very early into the show, so as a show, we'll have to wait and see. But I hope they can like smash it with all the seasons. And I'm gonna say it's gonna probably be like a 5-season show. That's my prediction for that one. All right, Heartstopper season 1. I think we get season 2 this year. I think it got renewed for seasons 2 and 3 straight away, so that's good. I really enjoyed season 1 of Heartstopper. I think some people thought I hated it, which I definitely did not. I think it was the definition of a show that got better as each episode went on. Because I like honestly, like the first couple of episodes, I didn't ship the two characters that much, and then as the episodes went on and on, I started to love their dynamic more and more. So yeah, like episode 1 I give a 5, episode 2 is a 6, and a 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. But like we're going like low 7s to high 7s in between this period, and then we got an 8 at the end. I fully understand why people love this show as much as they do. I think for me, I just like I say, the problem was it is a show about a romance for the most part, and I didn't ship the two characters until around episode 3 or 4, which is half the season. So I'm just checking here if it actually has a... No, I don't think we have a premiere date for season 2 yet. I thought maybe we would, because season 1 it says April 22nd, so I'm assuming it would be around that time for season 2 as well, because I think they've wrapped up filming it. But yeah, I did enjoy the show at the end. I think it's like a very easy watch. There's no, big dramas going on with the show, which I actually thought was a great part about the show. Like, they didn't feel the need to just force feed drama just for the sake of it. And it was just kind of like smooth sailing for the most part in the storylines, and the performances I actually felt got better and better as the episodes went on as well, and the side characters became more likable as the episodes went on. So yeah, I just think for me it was one of those. Yeah, this comment, finally an LGBTQ plus series with no drugs, sex or alcohol, and hardly even a swear word. I mean, that's kind of true. It was just a sweet, innocent coming of age story about friendships and first love, the one so many of us have desperately needed for so long. I think that hits the nail on the head. It's just kind of like there's no big drama going on with this show. It just did what it needed to do, and I hope they keep that tone going out throughout seasons 2 and 3, and I'm assuming future seasons from that as well. You gotta have a bit of drama in there, maybe sprinkled through, for sure. You gotta have a little bit of drama in shows, but I don't think it needs to be overblown, so we'll see. But season 1 of Heartstopper, I'm going to put in... what did I give season? I think I gave it like a 7. Yeah, I gave it a 7. Probably like a bit, I think it was like a mid-7 or something, like a 7.5. So I'll go really good, maybe there, I think, for me. Yeah. We'll see what they do with season 2, which I'm excited for. I'll be there for. So, Love, Death, Robots season 3. Season 3 was definitely better than season 2. I think we had like a couple of 10s in there, I want to say. I don't know. I really enjoy Love, Death, Robots. I've loved it since I started with season 1. But I like that we're kind of getting them at a faster pace. I don't know how long we're going to have to wait for season or volume 4, sorry. So yeah, we got that one was good. Bad Traveling was a banger. I've come to appreciate episode 3 a bit more since watching it. Ep 4 is just a lot of fun. Yeah, Kill Team Kill. That one was Swarm was fine. Mansion Rats was fine, and that was great. And then Jabaro, I love Jabaro. Some people hated this episode. 73% is one of the lower rated ones. Even though, to be fair, all these episodes get shot on with their ratings. But I don't know. I thought we had some amazing episodes with Volume 3. I thought they were far better than some of the episodes in Season 2, which Pop Squad was the best episode of that season for sure. So, yeah, I'm going to put Love, Death, Robots in really good again. Probably, maybe there, I think. Alright, Stranger Things Season 4. Way better than Season 3. I'm so glad we had a season of Stranger Things that just kind of felt like it was on the same level as what Season 1 was. Even though I really, really enjoyed Season 2 and 3. Some people still stand by that Season 3 is the best season of the show. I enjoyed Season 2 and 3, but again, they just weren't on the level of what Season 1 was. Even though, to be fair, there were parts of Season 3 that I felt kind of were, but it was more towards the second half of the season, I guess. I don't know, I feel like each season of Stranger Things excels in something different. Like, Season 1 is just kind of like this compact, like, mystery horror that worked really well. Then Season 2 and 3, they kind of didn't do that as well. But then Season 4 had a really great villain, and I felt like the characters worked a lot better as well. So I think Season 4 and 1 are probably up there as the two best ones, but 2 and 3 is not too far behind. Well, 3. 2 is definitely probably the weakest for me. Apart from Will. Will still needs it. I don't know what they're doing with his character, but make him great again, because he smashed it in Season 2. Season 4, I'm going to put in Fantastic, probably below House of the Dragon. I'm glad the next season is the last one, because I think if they were like, yeah, we're going to be going up to Season 8 or something, I'd be like, oh, God. But I think it's set up at the end of this season, just kind of like ready for the ending of the show. Unless, I'm going to assume they're going to do like 50 episodes for the final season, just to really thread it out. You know, they're going to do like final season part 1, final season part 2, and maybe even final season part 3, like Attack on Titan's doing or something. I bet they will. They're going to drag it out as long as they can, but I'm excited either way, because Season 4 banged. Fruits Basket Season 1. I have finished Season 2, but that was in Jan of this year, so I'm not going to put Season 2 in here, but Season 1, and I'm about to start Season 3, so I think there's like 12 eps left of the show, because Season 3 is the final season. But Fruits Baskets Season 1, it did take a few eps to really get into it, because I didn't love any of the characters until, honestly, maybe like the final third of this season. I think I liked them as it went on. There wasn't really any characters that I hated or anything, and the story was a little bit different to what I'm used to, I guess. But I think by the end of Season 1, I was really on board with the show, and the finale Season 1 really won me over as well. Season 2 was definitely better than Season 1, so it's hard to kind of part my thoughts from Season 2 with how I felt about Season 1. But I felt like Season 1 for me was probably... I think I'm going to say just good. Maybe really good, actually. Maybe really good. Season 2 is like probably towards the top end of really good. Season 1 maybe towards the bottom end. Maybe there. It improves, definitely. I think it is just those kind of like first initial episodes for me that, and there are some stinky episodes even in the middle, like, admittedly. But it is an easy watch, like I say, 20-minute episodes. You're never going to go wrong with that, to be honest. So, yeah, Fruits Basket's a very good show. But I'll have more to say about it, I feel, when I can talk about Season 2 and 3. So that'll be in the next video. Or actually, by the time I do the all TV shows reviewed again midway through this year is probably when I will have finished it. So that'll be a better time. But Season 1 was good. Westworld Season 4, the unintentional final season of Westworld, as the show unfortunately got cancelled. I don't know why. I think they said Season 5 was going to be the last season, and HBO were like, nah. No. Season 4's the last season. You're done. So that's just wonderful. I don't know why. Don't get me wrong. The show never has and never will, even if they were to do a 5th season, going to be as good as Season 1. Season 1 is goated. Every other Season 2 and 3 are like around here, and Season 4 was probably like, I don't know. It is hard because I always woot. I think because I was typing in Westworld. I don't know, woot. I always root for Westworld to kind of bang, and it never quite does. Like, they always have some moments, I guess, that do, but Like these ratings, it's like we had an 8, and then the finale was a 7. Season 2 and 3, I don't know what I'm thinking with these ratings. 8 and 7. That's a bit. When I was watching season 2, that was when I think I was way more generous with my ratings for TV episodes. I'm a bit more cynical with it now. So, yeah, we did 8, 8, 8, 5. That episode was pretty stinky, and then an 8, and then a good. Yeah, I don't know. It did have some really great moments, but again, it just kind of falls a bit flat at the end. You just kind of, at the end, you're always sat there like, okay, what was the point in that? I guess. So, and again, I get so bored of them just killing off characters and them being resuscitated like that. Boring. Oh, that character's dead. No, they're back because they were an android. That character's dead. Oh no, we've taken the memory of them and put them into someone else, so they're not actually dead. It's just like, oh god, it gets very tiresome. I hate any show that does that, but I still think season 4 was a very good season. It is unfortunate that it got cancelled. I think it deserved it. I think it deserved that final season just to really finish it all off, but we're never going to get it, so that sucks. I'll put it there, I think. Not the best. I kind of get it why it got cancelled, because it does cost a lot to produce a show like that, but unfortunate. Pretty Little Liars Original Sin. Oh god. Okay, don't get me wrong, like this show is technically trash. It technically is trash, but I had so much fun with this show. So much fun. Like, every episode I was entertained by it. There's no denying that. I was entertained by every single frame of this show. But it's garbage. I don't really like any of these characters apart from maybe Noah. I think her name was. She was pretty good. Some of them got, I think, I forgot her name, Maddie, I want to say, the middle one. She got a bit bearable towards the end as well. But then you have some characters in there that are just, oh my god, was it Tabitha? I forgot her name. She was unbelievably annoying. The villain was crap. The reveal was crap. The love interests were pretty bad. And the mystery element was bad. But it was fun. I promise you it was fun. I'm not going to put it in trash for that reason. I'll put it in it exists. Probably actually above Dexter. No, I can't do that. I can't do that to Dexter. I'm not putting it in trash because, like I said, it did have some fun moments. I can't even deny that. So, Cyberpunk Edgerunners. The worst part about Cyberpunk Edgerunners is its first episode. Get that out the way, and everything else bangs from then onwards. Everything else bangs. The animation, the music, oh my god. All of the characters are amazing. The ending sticks to landing. I know this show is popular, but I hope they just actually leave it as this. I think at the end of it, I was like, oh, could they do a season 2 kind of thing, wondering about it, but the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, no, just have, unless you do Cyberpunk Edgerunners, like, new cast, like, new people, that makes sense, but here, I think leave this as an individual, like, standalone story, I think makes the most sense, but yeah, I love Cyberpunk Edgerunners. I'm not going to quite put it in GOATed because, like I said, that first episode was a little bit air. And I do think there were maybe a couple of moments throughout the season. I don't know. Let me have a look. Oh god, I'm gonna keep doing this, aren't I? I'm just gonna talk myself into it. Again, I always look back at some of my ratings on some shows. I'm like, what really were you thinking in that moment? Did I give it a 9 or like a high 8? This was a 9 or a high 8. It was an 8. It must have been like an 8.8 or something. I have my ratings written there. It was like the actual... Yeah, okay, so I gave Ep 2 a bit of a low rating as well. Ep 1 was the worst episode for sure. Ep 3 onwards. 8. Oh no, 9. Oh, Ep 6. Oh my god, Ep 6. Ep 6 was so good. 80%, that's more low. 8, 7, 7, and then it banged at the end. Yeah, to be fair, these two eps were a little bit like building up to that finale, I felt like, which makes sense. But yeah, okay. Maybe I'll stand by my 8, but it's definitely like an 8.8 or something. It's annoying. I wish on Track you could do like the points. I don't know. I've always wanted that. It'd be so nice, just so I could remind myself. I'm gonna put it in fantastic, probably there. above Stranger Things, but not as good as House of the Dragon. I think makes most sense. Vinland Saga, I finally got around to Vinland Saga in 2022, and I think season 2 has just started airing as well, so I'll be jumping onto that when I can. Season 1 I loved. Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was way better than I thought it was going to be. The ending was amazing. Like that shot where, like, if you've seen the show, when they're like blades falling and it has all like the flashbacks in the blade. I've rewatched that scene a few times. It just slaps. Music's amazing. I love the world of it. Like anything Vinland's mostly gonna, like Vikings is always gonna win me over just because I love that setting and era. The characters, I wouldn't say I love a couple of them. I wouldn't say I love all of them just yet, but I feel like it's set up well for season 2 for me to potentially love more characters, so that's fine. I think everyone kind of says like season 1 of this is more like the prologue to the main story, which I'm intrigued by. I'm curious how that's going to be the case, but I guess I'll find out. But yeah, I really enjoyed Vinland Saga season 1. I'd probably put it again. I'm sorry. I gotta check my ratings. I'm gonna say I gave it an 8, which would have been a high 8. It would have been like an 8.5, I reckon. Yep, 8. So, episode 1's aired. Episode 1 is waiting for me. Yeah, start off good. Had a great episode of Ep 4, then went back to being very good. Great, okay, good, great, meh, amazing. Episode 14 I love. Fine, good, great, great, fine, good, great. Yeah, so it does have its like ups and downs from like good to great. But the episodes that bang, they bang. So yeah, we're going to put season 1 of Vinland Saga, I think, fantastic. Probably below Stranger Things though. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Dharma, the most controversial show of the year. Let me check. That I watched. Oh, I guess Rings of Power was kind of controversial, but that was just waffle. Dharma's controversial for reasons I kind of actually understand. So, but I loved it. I can't even deny, like, I loved the show. Was really, really good, and Evan Peters did a great job at Dharma. But again, when you word it like, imagine being someone who was related to one of the victims from Jeffrey Dahmer, and then you see like Evan Peters winning awards for playing the role of the murderer who killed like your son or whatever. Like, yeah, that'd be wild. So I do understand that aspect of it, which I touched on a little bit when we were doing the reactions to it anyway. But as a show, unfortunately, it was really well done, and I thought the acting was incredible. Like, it just was. Unfortunately, Evan Peters did a solid job. I guess it'd be easier for the world to be like, Evan Peters did a shitty job at playing Jeffrey Dahmer, but I mean, he didn't, and that's, I guess, why he's winning awards for it. But yeah, I think I gave this a high 8, I want to say, by the end of it, because there were a couple of episodes, and I think because they are like an 8 out of 10. I think because they are an hour long each episode, there's some moments in some episodes that start to drag a little bit, but yeah, 7, 8, 7, 8, Jesus, yeah. Oh, I forgot it was 10 episodes long. I thought it was 8 episodes long. Oh, episode 6. So that episode 6. What an episode. It'd be quite, I'm not going to do this, but it'd be quite interesting to like rate individual episode, like the best episodes of not every episode I watch, but like the best episodes of each individual show or something. That'd be quite interesting. But because episode 6 was definitely the best episode of the show. Yeah, great acting. I learned stuff that I didn't know about Jeffrey Dahmer's, like, and the whole case around him and stuff as well. So I guess I learned a lot from the show, I guess you could say. I mean, I could have just gone and researched myself, but yeah, shows like this, I guess, make you want to research. So well, not make you want to, but maybe it's like, okay, maybe I should look into this stuff a bit more, because I did cross-reference some stuff to check if it actually happened, and most of it did. So let's go. I'm gonna go fantastic. I think probably here. It was a really good show, and Evan Peters did a good job. Unfortunately, all right, The Midnight Club. Oh god, another. Right, this is our first of many Netflix shows, I believe, that got cancelled. Let's just quickly. Cause Midnight Club got cancelled. 1899 got cancelled. At least somehow not. Okay, so I think Cuphead's not been renewed yet, so that's a wait and see. Okay, I've not reacted to a lot that got cancelled, but the amount of Netflix shows I saw getting cancelled, like, was it Julie and the Phantoms? I saw everyone. There was the Warrior Nun. Is that one? Warrior Nun. I feel that was a Netflix show. Everyone was raging about being cancelled. So Netflix are on a rampage with just sacking everything. The most baffling to me is 1899. I do not understand that. We'll get to it. But the Midnight Club did get cancelled. I was confused whether if that was even trying to be made for a second season or not. Apparently it was, which makes sense because the ending was just. The ending wasn't confusing. It was just a nothing ending. It was just like, oh, okay. The best thing about the Midnight Club is its characters. The characters are really fun. The story's fine, but then obviously you have a story within a story in every episode. Like they sit around, do the Midnight Club, and tell their mini horror story that they're going to be telling for the night. And some of them, one or two of them, are a bit stinky, which do end up bringing the episodes down because the short stories within the episodes are like 20 minutes long. It's about maybe a third or half of the episode. So if they're bad, then ultimately that episode ends up being bad. It's always in like the second half of the episode as well. But the characters are really good. I don't know. I think I wanted a bit more from this. I think it's one of those I kind of get why it got cancelled, but it is unfortunate because I think if they plan to do more, I wish we just kind of got a better ending. Because that's like the ending we can get with the show now. It's like I can't really recommend this because the ending was a 4 out of 10. I thought it was a terrible ending. So unfortunate. 7, 6, 7, 7, 6, 7, 7, 7, 6, 4. Yeah, I can't recommend this show, unfortunately, especially now that it's been cancelled as well, because you just don't really get a satisfying ending. It was better than Dexter. It was better than Pretty Little Lies, so I'll put it in just good. I think there. Because there were elements to this show that were actually really solid. But yeah, it just didn't really get to stick to landing. Top Boy, I don't have much to say about the show. I watched this one off camera. I did watch half of season 2 as well because I wanted to get to the Netflix version that came out a couple of years ago, the Netflix Top Boy that everyone talks about. But I felt like I needed to go back and watch the original, what was it, Channel 4 or E4? I don't know which channel it was, but the original one, and it was fine. I thought the acting was a little bit It was only 4 episodes long, so it's not super long, and I think season 2 is only 4 episodes as well, or like 5 episodes. I'd probably say just good. I didn't love any of these characters. I didn't love the story, but it did I think there was one episode, it was like Ep 3 or something, that was actually great. And how's the main actress from Black Panther 2, so like her 10 years ago. It's kind of cool seeing her. But it's fine. I need to finish season 2, I think, and then get onto the Netflix version as well, just see how that compares. But yeah, I'm intrigued. Rings of Power, the second most controversial show of the year, I think, under Dharma. This one for silly reasons, though. Everyone just said this was like the biggest pile of shit known to man, and that they were horrified that there was a black elf in the show or something like that, and that they gave what was it? Oh, that Gladriel. Gladriel was definitely quite cringe, to be fair, but I didn't hate her as much as some people. I thought she was fine. I didn't love her, but yeah, I kind of get the Gladriel thing a little bit. But everyone thought she was like a terrible actress, which I didn't really get. I think there were definitely some moments where she was a bit wooden, but I don't think she was terrible. Like, everyone was like, oh, it's the worst acting I've ever seen. I'm like, oh my god, no, it's not. Calm down. Rings of Power was fine. It was a good show. I love the Lord of the Rings. I've got Lord of the Rings tattoo. I've said a billion times it's like my favourite. The Return of the King is my favourite film of all time and has been since 2003. And then Fellowship is my second favourite film, and 2000 is my third. So I love the Lord of the Rings. The Rings of Power, I can't say I was disappointed in it because I went in very sceptical anyway, to be fair. But I did want a little bit more from the show, I think. Again, the visuals are amazing. They spent the money they put in the show. You can see it on screen, that's for sure. Because I think there's probably a couple of shots in there that look a little bit stinky, but for the most part, it looks incredible. I think episode 6 was a really, really great episode. That was the best episode of the entire season, and the finale was good. But yeah, I just didn't love any of these characters. I can't even remember anyone's name. Galadriel. I know her from The Lord of the Rings and Isildur, obviously, but yeah, I don't remember any of these characters' names, if I'm being honest. You had the Hardfoot storyline. that stunk. That stunk of actual poo. I did not enjoy that storyline whatsoever. I'll admit that. But it did. There was. I'm just kind of shitting on the show here at this point, but there was actually quite a lot to like about it. Like I said, episode 6 banged, and even though I don't remember any of the characters' names, Elrond. Actually, I do remember Elrond, but that's because he was actually the best character as well. Elrond's friendship with the dwarf guy, Thurin or Durin. I think it's Durin. I've got that one. Their friendship worked really well on screen as well. So there were some elements to like about the show, but it didn't slap as much as I thought they thought it was going to. So I'm gonna say just good at the top of that. That hurts. That does hurt. Yeah, I just can't look back on it and think of anything I really truly loved other than the visuals and the music. Actually, those two elements, yes, but the story and the characters, I won't say I loved them. So, and they're like the two things you really want to love, if anything. Gilmore Girls season 1. Gilmore Girls season 1. I'm trying to, again, I'm watching season 2 at the moment, so I'm trying to just part in my mind where season 2 started again. But yeah, season 1 had some ups and downs for sure. I think there were a few episodes in there that I didn't love. But Lorelai and Rory, their kind of bond works really well on screen. Emily as a character, Emily is one of my favorite characters of TV that I watched that year, or 2022. I love Emily. I don't even care. Emily is the best character. Lorelai's mum, for those who don't know. Yeah, I think without Emily, I wouldn't love the show as much as I do, but she brings a lot to it. And Luke's a very good character. Yeah, I think if it was just Rory and Lorelai, then I would, don't know, we would see. I do like them, but not as much as those two. And yeah, it's just a very basic storyline, like them two just living their lives, doing their thing, doing their jobs, doing their school and all that stuff. You have your love interests. It is your very kind of formulaic. I think it would be formulaic but because of their bond, like the mother-daughter bond, I think that adds something different to the show that I've not seen before. So yeah, I'll put Gilmore Girls season 1 in, I think, really good. I'm going to go really good. But I think maybe like there. Yeah. I enjoyed season 1. Season 2 is better. Season 2 is better so far, so I'll have more to say about it with season 2, I think. Young Royal season 2, not as good as season 1. Season 3 is actually going to be its final season, which I'm very surprised about. I thought this was going to be one of those shows that would go on for like maybe 5 or 6 seasons, but they're wrapping it up with season 3, which I think's actually a smart idea after watching season 2. I think wrapping it up with season 3 makes sense. I think there's still quite a lot to do, so hopefully they can fit all that in the 3rd season, which I'd assume they will. But yeah, season 1 for me was just better because I felt like the romance worked better in season 1, which this primarily is. There were parts of season 2 that I think they touched on better, like the anxiety and the kind of going to therapy and the depression side of things. I think they did well in season 2, but the romance was better in season 1. And then some of the backstories and side stories were better in season 1. So, I don't know. It's a double-edged, like, part of season 2 they did better, part of season 1 they did better. But I just think overall season 1 worked better and flowed nicely through the episodes. So, season 2 was still really good. So I'll put it around here. Probably there. Yeah, season 2 was still decent, but I am kind of glad they're wrapping it up with season 3. Assuming they can fit everything in. I really thought this would go on for longer than it seems they're going to be doing with it, but I guess I do appreciate that about a show when they're like, you know what, we can wrap everything up in this season, so let's just do that instead of dragging it out. So I do respect that, and I'll be there for season 3 for sure. 1899 cancelled show. Boom. Why? So again, just a show I can't really recommend to anyone because you're never going to get a complete story. And this show only works if it can wrap up the entire show. This isn't like some shows where, say, it gets cancelled, it's like, okay, sure, I guess you can watch it still. This is like, no, you needed seasons 2 and 3. I think they said they planned to do 3 seasons, and season 1 left, where it's like, okay, so now we're a good spot to kind of building into season 2, because the entire show you're like questioning what's going on, and then you kind of get an idea towards the end of the show. For those of the same creators of Dark, obviously, so that was kind of the same, where it's like you needed to watch the entirety of Dark to really know what was going on. It's like if you watch Dark but you only had the first season to watch. It's like, okay, think of everything else that happens in Dark. You're never going to get that with this show because it's done. I will say 89 season 1 was nowhere near as good as Dark. It wasn't even really that good. But it needed I felt like there was so much more potential with its season 2, and we just kind of, yeah, I can't recommend it because you're never going to get it. So I'll put 1899 in just good, probably there. Yeah, it's unfortunate because I think there were elements of this show that were really strong, but I didn't love it. Nowhere near as good as Dark, based on its first season. Because obviously Dark we had 3 seasons to work off, but they worked way better. Bridgerton seasons 1 and 2. I guess we can get through these a bit quicker now because I'll be able to. Oh wait, no, Wednesday is hiding down there. That's only 1 season. Wednesday, Jenna Ortega, everyone's obsession, I think, since Wednesday came out, so for like the past 2 months, which makes sense. I do love Jenna Ortega, and we're going to be getting Scream 6 this month or next month, very soon. So I'll be reacting to Scream 6, of course. My order of how I've done the Scream series is so all over the place. I don't even know how I've managed to do it, but yeah, I'll be doing Scream 6, of course. Wednesday I really enjoyed. I thought the story was fine, but the characters were amazing, and like the creativity with how they went about doing the story, I think worked really well. Like directed very well, and the music was fun and whimsical, and like I say, the dynamic between all of the characters worked apart from the romance side of things. I thought this is one of the shows where they did not need to force feed us the romance, but it was fine. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen or anything like that. I didn't ruin the show, but if I had to be nitpicky with it, that'd be one thing I'd pick out. Yeah, I'd say Wednesday season 1 is probably really good. It's not fantastic. I think some people were saying it's like the best show of 2022, which I don't. I mean, to each their own, obviously, but I don't personally see that. I'd say maybe there. Really, really good show. I think solely because, or mainly because of Jenna Ortega's performance. Like, she smashed it as Wednesday. But saying that, again, like, whoever worked on the music and the editing and the creativity side of it just did a really good job as well. Because I think as good as Jenna Ortega is as Wednesday, the show falls apart if everything around Wednesday doesn't work either, obviously. And they managed to do that. So yeah, because it's got renewed for season 2 officially now. I think last week it got officially renewed, which people are like, oh my god, what if it doesn't get renewed? Wednesday it came out that it was like what the most viewed Netflix show of all time, or like the third most under Stranger Things and Dharma. There was no way they were not going to renew Wednesday. I think even Dharma they're going to do another, not Dharma season 2, obviously that what would that even be about? But they're doing like another true crime, or what was it called? Dharma Monster, or the Monster Story. I don't even remember what it's called. The Monster Story. But they're doing another one in that kind of IP, I guess. So, and more controversy to come, I guess, with that. Bridgerton season 1 and 2. I preferred season 2. Some people prefer season 1. I guess it just prefers which. I guess it depends on which romance you prefer. I preferred this. I actually really liked this romance up until episode 5 or 6. If you know, you know. I didn't get out there. I don't know. Some people thought I was silly for not being on the romance after that episode, but again, I'm trying not to spoil it. But yeah, they ruined this romance very quickly for me. This one worked really, really well. So season one still was really good. So I probably put season 1 maybe there. It would be higher, but again, season 6 onwards, which is towards the end of the season, just kind of ruined Daphne for me. This one was far better, so I'll put season 2 maybe there. Season 2 I felt like had more fun as well going about it, and the side characters I just preferred. But like there were some I think some of the side plots in season 1 worked better as well, like maybe with Eloise and stuff. So again, kind of like how I felt with, what show did I mention? Young Royals. There was some parts of season 2 that worked better, some parts of season 1. The Wire. This is a show. Was like the show I watched off camera. I'm kind of glad I did. As much as as much as I ended up loving the show, I should say, I don't think it's a show that I'd really want to react to, just because there are a lot of slow moments to this show. So I'm glad I kind of did this one off camera. But again, definition of a show that got better each season, and by season 4, Oh my god. Season 4 is one of the best individual seasons of TV I have seen. I only watched The Wire because of all the stuff I heard about season 4. So I went in season 4 and I was like, is it going to live up to it? And it did. It did. Season 4 slapped. Season 1, I did not love. There were some episodes in this that I thought were dry. It is a very, very slow paced show. It is a lot of like character building and political stuff. Like even in season 4, but I felt like the political stuff worked way better in season 4. But I don't know. I felt like, and again, these characters are so hard to love because you've got like the bad guys of the show, but then it's like I know this is the point of the show, by the way, but it's like then all the police brutality, and it's like these are your main characters, and they're just abusing all these criminals as well, and just like beating on them in the streets, and it's like, oh, okay, so which characters are we really meant to like? You end up loving a lot of the characters, don't worry, but season 1 was kind of hard for that for me. I was like, I don't really love any of these characters, apart from the main character. I felt like he worked quite well, but season 1 I'm going to say is just good. No, it's not. It's actually really good. No, I'm going to put it in just good, but at the top. I didn't love season 1, but I think, to be fair, I think if I go back to rewatch season 1, which I'm not going to do anytime soon, but if I was to go back and rewatch season 1, I think I'd enjoy it more, which happens with a lot of shows because now you are programmed to know what the show's about, and you end up loving those characters kind of earlier on than you do initially. Like Fruits Baskets, for example, I'm sure if I go back and rewatch season 1 now, I'd probably end up loving that season more than I initially do. Season 2, some people say season 2 is like the weakest of the show, which I get because it does kind of it feels like a side plot done throughout the season, but done very well. I don't know what it is about season 2, but I ended up really enjoying season 2. I preferred it far more to season 1. This seems to be like the season that most people are mixed on, because some people say it's the best season of the show, which I don't agree with, but I really ended up enjoying season 2, so I'm going to put season 2... I think there. Yeah, season 3, better than season 2. I'm going to put season 3 actually in fantastic. Maybe at the bottom, though, there. Yep, season 3 just did what season 1 did, but way better, and had better side plots and everything. And then season 4 banged, not as good as Arcane, but Arcane season 4 was one of the best individual seasons I've seen. Maybe better than Arcane. No, it's not. I feel like I'd be putting it above Arcane just to be kind of like, I don't know. Oh yeah, HBO. Oh, HBO are amazing. Yeah, I love HBO, but Arcane I just love. So season 4 though was incredible. I'd probably give this like a 9.5 or something. This made watching the show worth it. Again, not that everything leading up to that was bad, but season 1, like especially the early episodes, I was a bit like, I just felt like I didn't get it. I was like, what am I missing with this show? I don't understand. And then you do start to get it as it goes on, because it's always considered like one of the best shows of all time. Like it's typically in the top 10 of most lists. So you kind of go into it thinking, I think it's like usually this, Breaking Bad, and The Sopranos. You can pretty much guarantee those 3 are always going to be in top 10s of the best TV shows of all time. So you go in with a certain expectation with this show, and I wouldn't say it really lived up to that until maybe like, even then, season 2, it's not like it's like the best show, but season 3, you start to definitely get it more. Don't get me wrong though, season 2 is great. It's just, like say, when you hear best show of all time, that expectation does rise. Oh, to go from The Wire to Elite, how funny. This is just trash. We can put that season straight in trash, and we know why it's trash. I've spoke about it a billion times. This is one of the worst individual TV seasons I've ever seen. It's just sex. The whole season is everyone having sex all the time, and then like the last episode is decent. It's like, okay, I don't know why I still watch this show. I don't know why I do it to myself. Then what was it, season 6 are we on now? I don't even know, I'm losing track. I think that was season 5. This is season 6, I think. Season 6, the first half I was like, oh my god, they're trying with an actual storyline, and then like ep 4 of this season was actually really good. I was like, oh my god, and then it went downhill again. Then 5, 6, 7, and 8 weren't bad. They weren't awful or anything, but that first half of this season felt like different writers Eps 1 to 4 is like we were trying, and then Eps 5 to 8, while not as bad as this season, did just kind of fall back into that. We're not really trying anymore. Everyone's just going to kind of have sex now, if that's okay with you guys. And it's like, oh my god. So this would have been. I think it would have been around here. I could have seen it being around here based on the first 4 eps, but because of that second half, it's going to go down to there. Also, I'd put Top Boy above that. I need to swap that. So, yeah. Unfortunate. And that ending, that last scene with the gun, if you know. Oh my god. What a goofy ending. I can't wait for the next season. God. Alright. Because it has been renewed for a season 7. Let's mention that while we're still alive. New Girl season 1 and 2. I love this show. This show's hilarious. I again, the worst part of New Girl is like the first, I'd say 5 episodes because of Jess. Jess is such a difficult character to get on board with. I feel very early on. She's just not my kind of character. Like, she's very like singing all the time. She's a teacher, so she's a little bit quirky. I feel like it's kind of when Phoebe from Friends was at her worst. Like, I love Phoebe where I'm at in Friends, obviously, but early on in Friends, like, Phoebe was kind of like my least favorite because she was kind of like how Jess is, where it's just this kind of like, oh, I sing all the time and I do the robot because I'm really funny, and it's like, oh god. So that, but then Jess does grow on you, and they kind of take elements from that annoying stuff but make it likable and get rid of all the shitty parts of Jess. As soon as they do that, New Girl becomes a lot of fun, and Winston as well. I feel like Schmidt and Nick and Cece are very consistent throughout, but Winston kind of goes from this character who's just there, like he's fine, to becoming like maybe the best character of the show, apart from maybe Nick. But Winston is very, very close. So as soon as they do that with Jess, and as soon as they do that with Winston, the show becomes amazing. The only thing, again, apart from that stuff I just mentioned, the flashbacks of New Girl are so unfunny. You know those bits on Family Guy where they cut away to something from the past, and sometimes they're funny, to be fair to Family Guy, but sometimes they're just a waste of your time. New Girl's flashbacks are all like the waste of your time parts, apart from maybe like 5% of them that are maybe kind of funny, but everything else, the flashbacks, to be fair, are like maybe 1 in every 4 eps, 1 in every 3 eps, maybe you'll get like a flashback that lasts 20 seconds. So it's not as bad as I made it sound, but that's if I had to pick the worst part of New Girl. Season 1, I'd say, is really good. Maybe there. And season 2 was way better, so I'm going to put season 2. Maybe there. Maybe there, actually. No. Oh, is it better than The Wire season 2? 2 very different shows, but I don't know. I'm thinking of like some moments, especially like the final third of season 2, that are just so good. So good. There's so many episodes. And oh my god, that Winston and Schmidt episode where Schmidt's trying to make Winston be his true black self or whatever it was. Like, oh my god, I don't know what that was hilarious. Winston's my favorite character. I love him. All right, yeah, we've got to put him there just for Winston. This can go above The Wire. If you haven't watched New Girl, you need to watch it just for Winston, like after like the first 8-10 episodes. But all right, The Boys season 1 and 2, I actually finished season 3 a few days ago, so we'll do season 3 in the next video. But season 1, The Boys, overall, I love. I think there are some incredible episodes. The worst parts I have to say about The Boys is in season 3, so I don't need to worry about that with these 2 seasons. And again, the parts of season 3 aren't even that bad. It's just, if I had to pick out some flaws, it would be to do with season 3. But yeah, like these villains and the way they've gone about making a show about superheroes and all that, very, very unique. And there are some things I've seen on the show that I can't unsee, and I saw an article come out, I think yesterday, where one of the producers or someone who was working on The Boys season 4 have said that they've just made one of the worst things they've ever seen on screen. Obviously they're going to say that. I'm not going to take that really into consideration until I see it, because then I always think of that one. Do you remember that creator or someone who worked on Game of Thrones that said the Battle of Winterfell is going to put the Battle of Helm's Deep to shame. I'm sorry, what? And then did you see the Battle of Winterfell? Put Helm's Deep to shame. Oh my god, put some respect on your elders. What is that about? So yeah, I'm not. I have more faith in the boys writers than I do the Game of Thrones writers, to be fair, but we'll see. But the boys season 2 is better than season 1, so we'll get that out of the way. But season 1 is fantastic, so I'd probably put season 1 maybe there, and then season 2 is better than season 1. But it's basically kind of more of the same, but just better. You got better villains, I felt like, and the finale of season 2 is the best episode of The Boys, I'd argue. And episode 6 of season 3, Hero-gasm. What an episode. But yeah, the amazing show. I love these characters, and I'm intrigued to see what they kind of do with season 4, because, again, I'm not talking about season 3 here, but I am curious what they're going to do with season 4, because I'm kind of like, where do you go? Not that they can't go in 100 different directions, but yeah, I hope this isn't one of those shows that they drag for like 8 seasons for the sake, because I know how popular it is for Amazon. We've already got a spin-off show coming as well, which I'll be reacting to, of course, but we'll see. I really love The Boys, though. Great show. I'm glad I finally got around to it. Better Call Saul. I only have seasons, 4, 5, and 6 here, because I watched seasons 1 to 3. I kind of watched seasons 1 to 3, stopped. No, I did season 1 when it aired, stopped. Did season 1 and 2 when season 2 came out, stopped. Then season 4 came out, so I did seasons 1 to 3 in the first episode of season 4, but then stopped. And then I waited until like the final season was about to air. Then I was like, I'm not going back to watch seasons 1, 2, and 3 again, because I'd done it about 3 times at this point. So I started from season 4, and then went through season 4, 5, ready for when season 6 aired. I think I finished the finale season 5 the day before season 6 was about to premiere, or something like that anyway. It was definitely in the same week, I feel. So, straight up, the best season out of all these is season 6. Is one of the best seasons of TV I've ever seen. One of the best endings to a TV show I've ever seen. They stuck to landing again. I don't know how they've done that with Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, but they have. Breaking Bad's the better show. I know some people debate if Better Call Saul is better, which I fully get. I do actually get if people prefer Better Call Saul to Breaking Bad, but I still prefer Breaking Bad, but the ending to Better Call Saul just makes everything worth it. Don't you love that in a show? When you end and you're like, that was worth my time. Not like this, or Game of Thrones, or this now that it's been cancelled, or this. It's just like, oh, you know what? No, that was worth every minute of the show that I spent with it. But it's hard to differentiate between these 2 seasons, and I don't want to speak about spoilers too much, but I think I know where like the cutoff from 4 to 5 is. I definitely know where 5 to 6 is, but so I think 4 for me was fantastic, probably there. And season 5 was better than 4. This show got better every season as well. That might be as well be a point we put out. Maybe there. Yeah, I'd say better than The Boys season 1, but not as good as The Boys season 2. Maybe. I don't know. And then season 6 is there. Just the best individual season I maybe watched all year. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'd say so. I love the final season of this show. So good. There was like, I think 1 episode in this show, or 2 episodes in this season that I didn't love. Well, that's more so in the second half. There's like 2 episodes I was like, like I really liked them, but I didn't love them. And then, but because it stuck to landing with like the last 2, 3 eps, it made, like I say, they weren't even bad episodes. What it was just like in the grand scheme of like the world. You know, like the Fly episode of Breaking Bad. You're like, okay, it's not the worst episode I've ever seen, but in the world of Breaking Bad, it's maybe like the weakest episode of Breaking Bad. They did not have the weakest episode of Better Call Saul in this season, but it's kind of like the same mindset. The Cuphead show. 3 seasons in a year. That's wild. This was like, again, the surprise for the channel, I'd say, with how well it did. I did season 1 of Cuphead thinking maybe we'd get like 1,000 to 2,000 views or something, and then I think season 1 at one's on I want to say 45,000 or something. It's ridiculous. So you guys love the Cuphead show, which I fully get because this is a lot of fun. Every time I load up a Cuphead show episode, I'm like, 10 minutes, perfect. Barely as well. Maybe like 9 minutes sometimes. It's like the perfect amount of time, and you just sit back and you just have a good time. You don't have to worry about anything. It's like, what's Cuphead and Mugman going to get up today? Are they going to blow up this chapel and murder everyone inside? But they're not going to show that everyone died, but you know everyone in that chapel died. Stuff like that. And then you got the devil, who's like an amazing side character. You got Miss Chalice, who's great. And then you got these one-off characters who are just hilarious, like Ludwig. Mugman. You just like the best side characters. So you do have some stinky eps in there for sure. There is very episodic, so naturally you're going to get some episodes that aren't great. I feel like I feel the same way with all 3 seasons. I think it was like season 1 and 2 was great with Cuphead. No, season 1 was great with Cuphead. Season 2 was great with Mugman, and then season 3 was great with the Devil and Miss Chalice. So each individual season does a better job with other characters, which I like. Because then Mugman was not barely in the season, but he was not as featured as he was in season 2, for example. I'm going to say the show as a whole is really good. I'm going to put it season 1 there. Season 2 is better than season 1. Just. Maybe above Gilmore. Season 3 is better than season 1, but maybe not as good as season 2. I felt like the side characters were at their best in season 2. But then, like I say, the Devil was really good in season 3, so it's hard. But yeah, we'll go with that. They could mix around, honestly, because it's all dependent on the episode, not so much the season. Kind of like with Love, Death, Robots, but that one was just very clearly better than season 2. Yellowstone, another show I've been watching off camera. I think I'm currently on the penultimate episode of season 3 as I'm recording this. Something about this show is always missing for me. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about Yellowstone. There are parts of the show that I love and I have so much fun with, and it's so goofy. Like, there's just cowboys being cowboys and like owning the biggest ranch you've ever seen in your life is ridiculous. But then you got like these characters. It's like this. What's his name? Willie or Billy? I don't. Something like that. And he's just like so clearly trying to be the Jesse Pinkman of Yellowstone. He's just so annoying. And then you've got Beth, who like is just a great character, but just annoys you most of the time. And then you got Casey, who I feel is like meant to be like this hero, like charming, like the cowboy, but then he just doesn't really do anything. And Jamie, who I actually kind of like Jamie, but then you find out this is like the most conflicting show for me, where I'm like, there are parts of this show that I love so much, and then there are elements of it that I just think are so stupid. There was one episode that I genuinely got annoyed at it. I said out loud, "Can we move on?" It was a scene where they were like, I don't know what it is. I don't know like the lingo in cowboy land or whatever, but where they like ride a horse and then like they drift the horse, like do a drift with the horse. And it's like this competition on who can do the coolest or the longest drift or the skid with the horse. And I was like, okay, so they do a bit of gambling. I was like, okay. This scene went on for, no joke, I think for about 12 minutes. Genuinely about 12 minutes. It felt like 20 of them just skidding on a horse. I was just stood there like, oh my fucking god. So you have scenes like that which just drag you out. But then you have like these great bar fights, for example, where they're threatening like the Sons of Anarchy. You know, these bikers coming up and then they just have this big brawl going on, and I don't know. Then you see like this family. They're all like related. The main characters are, and you just see how much they all hate each other. And you make some like really great scenes. So Yellowstone, I started because I've heard all the hype about it. Like people saying it's one of the better shows that are airing at the moment. I do kind of get that, but every episode I come away feeling like something was missing. I don't know. There's always something missing with each episode. I don't know what it is. I do recommend it. I do recommend giving it a try. I feel like it's like I really like Sons of Anarchy, and I feel like this is a kind of in the same realm where it's very goofy but kind of self-aware. Like Sons of Anarchy, we're loads of men on bikes doing their thing. This is like, it's just a load of blokes on horses lassoing people, like Red Dead Redemption, I guess. But It's not like Red Dead Redemption, but yeah. Anyway, season 1, I am going to say is... Season 2 is way better than season 1, so I'll put season 1, I think, there. I'm going to bring season 2 of Realm Royals down as well, actually. I'm looking at that, I'm like, that's not really good. Season 2 is just good. I don't think it was really good. I'm going to bring Realm Royals down to there. Season 2 was far better, so season 2 was really good. I'd probably say... maybe there, yeah. I'm just waiting for it to be great. I think with Yellowstone, I'm like wanting it to be great, and it's like almost there every time. It's like almost, not quite. All right, This Is Us. We have seasons, what is this, 2, 3, and 4, and I'm near the end of 5 now, but I'm not going to finish that till probably February. Season 2, oh my god, broke me there. My third favourite, straight up there, straight to the top. Season 2 alone makes watching This Is Us worth it. I adore that season. There are about 5 or 6 episodes in that season alone that broke me to pieces. I think it's like, was it at 14 maybe? There's just like, oh my god. This Is Us, I think, is the most underrated show on my channel, because I know like it does really well, obviously, outside of the channel. Like, it's a very popular show, but no one watches the reactions, and I'm like, bro, trust me, this show is amazing. Watch This Is Us. It is like, no one really talks about it in the comments or anything like that, which I kind of get. I'm coming to it very late, so that obviously has a big part of that as well. But such a great show. Such a great show. I'm so glad people on Patreon forced me to do this show, because I love it. And I'm kind of coming towards the end now, and I already know I'm going to miss it a lot, but I think it's time. It's getting to that point now in season 5 where I'm like, yeah, we can start to wrap things up now, and I think, well, I know season 6 is like the last season, so I'm glad about that. Season 3, no season has been as strong as season 2 yet, but season 3 was still really solid. So I put season 3 maybe there, probably there, maybe there actually above Dharma, yeah. And then season 4, let me just check actually. I think I don't want to get confused with 4 and 3, because I did take a bit of a break from season 4 to 5, so I'm just in my head. Yeah, okay, so season 2 was a 10, season 3, yeah, season 4 I think was better than season 3. Yeah, because season 3 had some like storylines that were a little bit like, I think the second half of this season was what really, yeah, the second half of this season, bang! The second half of this season saved this season, not from being bad, but just being the weakest season, because the season, Ep 1, 2, and keep in mind, this is one of those shows for me, kind of like with The Boys, whereas 7 is still like a very good rating, but 7 is also kind of like the lowest. This Is Us. You rarely get 6s, so when you see like a 6 here, like I remember that episode, because I remember like, oh yeah, no, that was kind of, for This Is Us, a weakish episode, but I don't think I've ever given lower than a 6. And then you get to Ep 8 here, and it's like 8, 9, 8, 8, 8, 8, 9, 8, 8, 7, 8. Banged. So yeah, season 4 was better actually than season 3, so I'd say there, maybe there actually, yeah. Oh, what a show. Watch This Is Us. Oh, Succession, oh my god. So I don't have season 1 here, because I did season 1 at the end of 2021, like around Christmas, and then I was watching it, did season 2, and then season 3 finished, and I managed to watch that as well when it had finished airing. I'm going to react to season 4 as well, because I love Succession. It's my favourite show that's currently airing. Yeah, because Better Call Saul's finished. It's better than The Bear, and it's better than Arcane. And so, yeah, it absolutely is. Season 2, boom. Season 3, maybe there, boom. Yeah, I love the show. Again, the worst part I can say about Succession is you do have to stick with it to really get into the flow of it. Season 2, though, is some of the best writing. That finale, oh my god. That finale to season 2 is just some of the best writing I've ever seen, ever. Just ever. I love the finale to season 2. And then season 3, again, I think as much as I love Succession, admittedly, like the first episode or two of season 3 are a little bit slow to really get into it. I feel like that's kind of always the thing with Succession, is it does take, with each individual season, it takes a few eps to but then when it kicks off, and these characters are just so well written. It's genuinely funny. I feel like it's an actually funny show. What a wild concept. And the acting is just outstanding. The music, I have some of those songs on my Spotify. I love them. So yeah, and just a fun show. I'm watching it on my fourth watch now. No, third. Yeah, because I did season 1, then watched season 1 again with my mum. Did the whole show again with my mum, then did season 1, but then started season 1 again, and I'm on season 2 now again. So yeah, I'm coming up to the technically 4th, but not really. Season 1 I've watched 4 times. So I don't know why in a year. I never do that ever. So that shows how much I love the show. Yeah, I love Succession. I can't wait for the next season. One Tree Hill. We've got One Tree Hill, Van Dyes, and Friends left. So this is season 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm near the end of 7 now. Yeah, season 3 just fit in because I think I did the finale of season 3 on the 3rd of Jan in 2022. So it just fits into this tier here. So season 3, I think, is maybe the best season of One Tree Hill, closely followed by season 4. Season 4 is very close. I do love, and then again season 1 as well is incredible. But season 3, I'm gonna say, yeah, it's better than Euphoria season 2 because it just is. One Tree Hill, let's not get it twisted. One Tree Hill is goofy, it's silly, it's a teen drama, it's just over the top. But your character like Dan Scott is just like, how can you not love this show? It's so over the top and ridiculous. Like, I'm putting it here, and I'm like, don't get me wrong, it is not on like the same level as well written and as well crafted as Wednesday or The Wire. Obviously, I'm not delusional, but like, when it comes to entertainment, like with how much fun you are having, there are episodes of One Tree Hill that are way more fun than The Wire season 3. I'm sorry, it just is. I know that's blasphemous to say. I'm sorry, but I laugh so much at this show, and it's just so ridiculous. I love it. I love One Tree Hill. There was a moment like around season 5 where I was like, "Oh God, we've lost the way," but then season 6 and 7 kind of brought it back, so that's good news. All right, let's. It's so hard because you kind of. It is one of those shows I'm like, it is technically, it's not bad. I would never say One Tree Hill is bad, like straight out bad, apart from season 5. It's like writing wise, it is just, you know what you're getting with One Tree Hill. You know exactly what you're getting with One Tree Hill. Actually, you kind of don't. It's like, it's one of those where you know what you're getting in terms of like, it's a teen drama, but some of the storylines they managed to pull out their arse for this show, you might never know what you're going to get with this show, actually. I just had a storyline where, so you had the Haley sisters, like 3 sisters. One of them's dating this guy, but then she breaks up with him and cheats on him in front of him. So to get revenge, he is now dating her sister. And then he's just come to their house with her sister and is like, we're here to stay for the night. And then they have a big family dinner. And then it all kicks off. I'm like, that would just never happen. What is this? So that's one of the most recent storylines I've got to in the last couple of episodes. So that was a lot of fun. That's in season 7. That's just an example. Just like, yeah, we're going to do that this time. He's just going to hook up with her sister. Oh, okay. Cool. And he's going to invite himself to dinner. Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, right. Let me think about this. It's not as good as The Boys season 2. That's just stupid. It's not as good as Better Call Saul season 5. This is Us season 4. Yeah. Putting it there. Season 3 bangs. Season 4, not as good as 3, but still fantastic. I love. There were like moments where I was like, this could be the best season, but then it kind of falls a little bit flat in some episodes. Unfortunately, I felt like season 3 was more consistent. But I'd still put season 4 there, I think. Season 5's bad. It's not trash, but it is bad. I'd probably put it. It's because the worst thing about this season is it just ruins two of the best characters. Like season 4, Lucas and Peyton, sorry, are great. And then I know people have stopped watching my reactions now because they're just like, I'm not dealing with this. Like me ranting about Peyton and Lucas. But I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But season 5 ruined Peyton and Lucas. And when I went in season 6, where they were actually pretty good again, I was always like, I don't ship them as much as I did it. Because season 4 really won me over on like their ship. And I was like fully on board with it. And then they just make Peyton into this vile character. And then Lucas is just an idiot. Lucas is just such a penis. It's unbelievable in season 5. I'm like, oh my god. The only reason season 5 is not in trash is because Brooke, Haley, and Nathan are actually pretty good. And Dan is just stupid, but I love Dan. But yeah, Peyton is just unbearable, unbelievably unbearable in season 5. And she does win it back over in season 6, so that's good. And so, as does Lucas. But yeah, this was just not a great season. I did not love this as much as I thought I was going to. So yeah, season 5 can go there. Season 6 won me back over for sure. I'd say really good. Maybe just good. Actually, I don't think it's really good. Season 7. I actually preferred season 6, which I'm very surprised by. I did not think that was going to be the case, but maybe there. Actually, no, because I do prefer the Fruits Baskets and Bridgerton season 1 and Heartstopper and that. Yeah, maybe there. Right, The Vampire Diaries season 2. I'm near the end of season 4 now, which is a lot of fun. But season 2, really, really good. Like having Catherine as the main villain for the start. And then, what else happened in season 2? We kind of got introduced to the originals, which was a lot of fun. Season 3 was better than season 2, so I'd put season 2 maybe there. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty good for it. And then season 3 was better. Season 3, I'd actually argue, was fantastic. I really enjoyed season 3. Like the whole original storyline and Klaus is just so much fun. The romance actually works in season 3, I feel, and like the side characters really come into their own as like being really entertaining. Like Bonnie's always great, but Bonnie's actually a poor example because she's not actually ever used really well. But Caroline is probably a better example. Is like really great in season 3, and Tyler I think is really good, even though he's boring where I'm at now. But in season 3 he was solid. Maybe I'm just looking. It's probably up towards around here. I've heard season 3 is like the best the Vampire Diaries ever really gets, which I kind of get. Like the finale to season 3 is amazing. Finale to season 3 is like the best Vampire Diaries ep so far. And ep 4 or 5, the Homecoming episode, banged. I think season 3 of One Tree Hill's better, so it's not going to go above that. Not as good as The Boys season 1, so maybe there. Yeah. Alright, Friends. Seasons 5, 6, 7, and 8. And I'm near the end. Oh no, I've got about 9 eps left of season 9 where I'm at now. Let me just search again, because sometimes it's hard to remember which episodes were in which season. I know season 5 is like the season. That's the best season of Friends so far, easily. That's going in GOAT, don't worry about that. So yeah, season 5, 10 out of 10. So we can just put season 5 all the way up to, I'd probably put it there. Yeah. So funny. So good. All the storylines worked in season 5. Every character, all their plots, like the main plots worked. The romances worked. Mainly because of Chandler and Monica. Like they really worked in season 5. Kind of, correct me if I'm wrong. Season 5 started with the one after after this says Emily. So this is all like the trying to hide it, and then they're all finding out individually, and each individual character that found out, like their reaction individually just was amazing. This was like this is like the only weakish part of season 5. I remember like these 3 eps in a row, I was like, oh, you've gone from like these bunch of episodes to like just 3 really good ones. What a shame. And then it went back to being great again, so it managed to secure that 10 out of 10 for me. I love this season. I don't think it's gonna like I've got season nine's not top this season yet, and I don't think season 10 is going to either. So this is probably for me definitively like the best season of Friends. Season six, obviously a bit of a step down, but still some really great stuff. Yeah, there's more Chandler and Monica. The one with the routine. I saw that pop up on my Twitter actually the other day. Reese Witherspoon as Rachel's sister. Good stuff. The one that could have been. Oh, I didn't love those episodes honestly. Again, still gave them a 7 though. Unagi was so annoying because Ross was like incredible in that episode, but everyone else was just kind of like fine. So it has like a 79%. I give it a high 6 or something, but yeah. Oh yeah, Ross dating the student. Is this one? Oh yeah, and then we have Bruce Willis in this one. And then the only episode of Friends that's ever made me cry was the finale. The finale was so good. That scene was so well done. I love that scene. Yeah, a very solid. This start with Ross was a bit messy. I love what you're doing, bro. And we're still going in circles with that. Oh my god, I could talk about that in season 9. So yeah, season 6, while not as good as season 5, still pretty fantastic. Maybe there, I'd argue. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good there. Better than boys. It's hard. It's hard. Again, it's hard to like pick and remember which exact episodes, but I remember like the general story of each individual season. Season 7 again, I think was maybe a bit of a step down. Yeah, we got more 7s in this season. It looks like. The Holiday Armadillo was a banger. The one where Rosie dies bangs. I don't even care what anyone says. It just does. The cousin. I don't know what that was about. That was still a great episode though. And then the wedding. Yep, that was just again another banger. That could go pretty much next to season 6 for me, to be honest. But I'll put it like just below, maybe a little bit. I think season 6 probably had a few more stronger episodes, and I think the ending. The finale, season 6 was better than the finale of season 7, if I'm being honest. Maybe there. Let's bring it down there. And then season 8, which is the most recent one in my head, but even though I'm halfway through season 9, that was a really good episode. This is where Rachel's pregnant, so this is Rachel's best season, I'd argue. Even though everyone kind of warned me that. Brad Pitt coming in, what an episode. Yeah, a lot of good ones here. Oh, the Joey and Rachel stuff. I didn't hate, honestly. I didn't hate any of that. It was a little bit, we're kind of not running out of ideas. I don't think Friends has ever felt like it's running out of ideas, but it did feel a little bit shoehorned in, where it's like, let's just try this and see what happens. And they wrapped up, and I was like, okay. It wasn't too bad, but I didn't love it. It was a very confusing one. It wasn't one of those. I feel like with Joey and Rachel, like with most comments, it's like you love them together, or people just hate them and say it's like the downfall of Friends, which I don't agree with. I don't think it's been the downfall of Friends, but yeah, I wouldn't say I loved it, and I wouldn't say I hated it. It's a very confusing one. Yeah, some good episodes there, and then it ended pretty well. The only thing that stopped the finale from being an 8 was then we went back to the Joey with the ring, and I just feel like, and I still stand by this halfway through season 9, they are dragging the Ross and Rachel thing so thin now. Like, it just needs to stop. They need to just get together, and you can tell they are just prolonging the Ross and Rachel thing just to kind of get the episodes going and keep. I think they thought that people only watched the show for Ross and Rachel, which I'm sure is a huge part of why people watched it in the early 2000s, the big what if couple. Don't get me wrong, I know that's one of the main reasons, but I felt like they had the need to just drag it out to keep people coming back. Whereas for me at this point, I'm just kind of like, come on now. It's getting a little bit silly, and this was kind of the start of that with the finale of season 8. So that the finale was not the strongest. I'd say it's one of the more weaker finales, but still very, very good. And you got Janice in there in the penultimate episode. Can't complain with that. So yeah, season 8. Again, I'd probably say. I mean, technically each season's got weaker than the last with the last 4 or 5, but they're still amazing. Like, I said it before, I'll say it again. The fact that you can have 10 seasons, and let's go ahead and assume that season 10 is a really great season. The fact you can have 10 seasons to a show and they're all at least very, very good. That's. I can't think of one of a show that's done that. Like the most I can think of is like Breaking Bad with 6 seasons. Um, Lost with I'd argue Lost with 6 seasons. 24 does have 8 seasons, but that definitely has ups and downs. I'll probably put season 8 maybe there. Yeah, I can't think of any that have 10 seasons though, and they're all at least very, very, very good. I don't know if you have any examples. The most I can think of for me personally is 24, but I know that's not the general consensus in the world of the world. For me, I think all 8 seasons bang in some way. Even season 6, which is considered to be the weakest season, but even I enjoy season 6. So that's probably the closest I can think of. Other than that, it'd probably be like Breaking Bad with 6 seasons. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one. There's not really You don't really get many shows now that go for that long. Like I feel like most shows kind of wrap up around the season 6 to 8 mark. Because Walking Dead is what 11 seasons, but that started to flop around season 7, so that's not an example to use. I've heard it gets better again, but I don't know. I will watch it eventually. I'm sure I'll finish it off. But yeah, anyway, guys, that is every individual season. The only trash we have is again Elite, a shocker all the way down here. And then they kind of did a little bit better with this season, but they just dropped the ball in the second half because it could have been further up here for sure. Dexter, the finale, just ruined the whole experience for me. This has been the only kind of episode of One Tree Hill. Again, this far down, it looks like it's garbage because there's not much down there, but that season of One Tree Hill's not even that bad. There were things to like, but like I said, they just ruined Lucas and Payne for me. Original Sin would be in trash, but I had so much fun with it, I can't even deny that. And yeah, our best seasons, we've got Succession season 2 at the top. Just the best season of TV I watched last year, just straight up is. Better Call Saul did have a couple of episodes in there that I was a little bit like, I didn't love, but out of how many, 13 episodes in the final season, there were 2 or 3 10 out of 10s, I'd argue, and only 1 or 2 7s, and the rest are all pretty much 8s or 9s, so yeah, stuck to landing with that final season. Season 3 Succession, while not as strong as season 2 for me, I think mainly because of the finale. I think the finale of season 2 is so good that it just automatically makes it better than season 3. I'd argue. Arcane, I loved. Season 5 of Friends is just so consistent. To have 24 episodes in a season, and again, the worst you get is very, very good. It's just, that's hard, so hard to do. Jokes worked, all the characters worked. This Is Us season 2 is just an emotional roller coaster, which I adore. I'll do it. I'll take the ride on the roller coaster. That's fine. But that this season will break you. Watch This Is Us. If there's everyone's seen Friends, everyone's seen Better Call. Well, I doubt everyone's seen, but I'm assuming you've seen most up here. But I feel based on the views I get on the channel, people watching this video at least maybe haven't seen This Is Us. Watch This Is Us. Okay. If I'm going to recommend any show from me, I mean it's going to be Succession, but. Give This Is Us a chance, and also give The Bear a chance. The Wire I would recommend, like, because this season is incredible, but the first season is like, look how far down for me. Like, again, I probably, if I was to rewatch season 1, this would probably go further up. It's kind of how I feel with The Sopranos, where I watched The Sopranos about 10 years ago, so I was way younger 10 years ago, obviously, but I feel like I've come to appreciate TV like The Sopranos more within those 10 years. So if I was to go back and rewatch The Sopranos now, I feel like it would be a lot higher up, as would Mad Men, for example. The Wire, while I did watch it last year, I feel like it's kind of going to be the same, where if I was to go back and rewatch, I'd appreciate season 1 a bit more. I don't think season 1's still like fantastic or anything, but it probably could be around and really good. But, you know, it depends how you're feeling. I think with The Wire, it depends what mood you're in. Whereas like One Tree Hill, I can be in any mood and enjoy an episode of One Tree Hill. But I'm gonna just say. So yeah, The Bear, very good. House of the Dragon, like I say, just left some episodes and some moments that stopped it from being goated for me, but still very, very good. Cyberpunk, first episode stinky, and episode 2, I'm not amazing. Friends season 6, Friends season 7, Friends season 8, season 9, we'll see where that goes. Yeah, I'm happy with that list so far. There's not really much I'd change. So that's kind of where we're at with our TV seasons of 2022. This video took way longer than I thought it was going to, so I'm not going to apologise. You can skip ahead, I'm sure. I'm always there like, yeah, I'm not sorry. I'll talk for this for like 5 hours. I don't give a shit. That's why I had to split the other one into 5 or 6 parts. It was just like, there's no way I'm doing this in one sitting, and I think each part ended up being an hour. So, yeah, sorry. I don't know. I ramble too much about certain shows, but it's not even that. I think there's just a lot. Now I'm rambling, so maybe we should wrap it up. We'll do this again next year, or the end of this year. If I'm not ill, we can do it at the end of this year. But I will have a video at the end of June, start of July, kind of going through each individual show. So not season, but each individual show, and just seeing where we kind of move things. This is more like the season stuff, like I said. And yeah, I hope you have a good 2023. We got The Last of Us coming out in 2 days, so hopefully we'll see you for that. Oh no, actually, by the time this one's up, The Last of Us probably has already started, so scratch that. Anyway, bye. Have a good day. Peace.